Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the metaphysical world. Just like you, I also express a deep love for knowledge and spiritual expansion. Journey with me and let us explore this wonderful world we have incarnated into. I am a practicing astrologer, so please visit my website, thealchemyofknowledge.com. and book a consultation with me to explore your complete metaphysical anatomy and any other general questions you might have about all things metaphysical. For now, please enjoy the video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. At the heart of fertility, hardship, and death. Bharani Nakshatra. Let us now go deep into the sky and look at the astronomy and the celestial place this nakshatra occupies. This nakshatra is in the region of the Aries constellation, from 13 degrees 20 minutes to 26 degrees and 40 minutes of Aries, which is seen to form a woman's reproductive organ. Here lie the fixed stars 35 Arietes, 39 Arietes, and the bright 41 Arietes. This region of the sky forms the Bharani Nakshatra. Now the name Barani has a translation meaning the bearer, or one who bears or carries a very heavy load, but an important load upon them. The main symbol of this nakshatra is the vagina, the female reproductive organ. So we know that this organ is the one that ushers in new life into this world, and it becomes a gateway or portal between different worlds. The vagina is also associated with sex, fertility, and the potential of bearing a child, which is a long and complicated process, eclipsed by the eventual painful and life-threatening birth of the child, which shows the blessings and struggle and pain people go through. So Bharani Nakshatra represents the problems in our world and in our personal life, but problems which are overcome by discipline and right conduct, as seen by the pregnant woman who has to observe peace and live a very disciplined life in order to take care of the soul she carries. This now leads us into the deity presiding over this nakshatra, the Lord of Karma and Dharma, and the keeper of the law, Lord Yama himself. Of course, Lord Yama is mainly known as the Angel of Death, often associated with the Grim Reaper, and the deity responsible for bringing death. Although Lord Yama is not to be feared at all, as he is well versed in the laws of karma and following the correct way of life. So Lord Yama is responsible for judging and transporting the souls who have completed their earthly mission into the other realms of existence. Yama is only feared by those who know they have not followed the correct way despite knowing the laws of Dharma. And thus came these gruesome depictions of the fearsome side of Yama, who comes to collect what belongs to him at that time, which is a soul displaced between realms. So Yama can represent hell and the souls who from their actions find themselves in these deadly realms. And Yama also delivers the deserving to their rightful heavenly abode. So we can see that this deity also teaches us about the laws of reincarnation. There's also a secrecy to this nakshatra, as we see represented by pregnancy, sex, and the life after death, as these are the areas that are very sensitive and private. The main quality and true power of this nakshatra is the intensity it can withstand. Again, if we go into the sexual activity energy, death, and pregnancy, these are areas which demand so much from us, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. So the Bharani Nakshatra people carry the spirit within them. From experiencing the deepest joys and also the deepest sorrows in life, these people become a rock and pillar of strength for many, as they guide others into facing the reality of this world, that both sorrow and prosperity can and should coexist. This nakshatra also represents any transition which happens in life, from the birth into puberty and into the menopause stage. All these places are major life changes which require a completely different way of being and living. As these processes happen to us naturally, so there lies a deep sense of our instinctual impulses, which of course require discipline and guidance, as only following our instincts can lead into many complications. This nakshatra is probably the most creative nakshatra also, which potentially makes it the most sexual. Sex energy, remember, becomes creative energy when it is transformed. This is the only inclination to balance the two extremes, male and female, birth and death, chaos and structure. Venus is the planetary energy ruling over this nakshatra, which comes as no surprise because of the qualities represented by Venus, especially on the sexual energy. Being in the Aries zodiac, the energies of Mars are also seen here, although the symbolism of this would be to balance these two poles of the feminine and the masculine. Bharani Nakshatra belongs to the outsider's caste. Lord Yama, as well as the intense sexual energy and death energy which lies in this nakshatra, is probably the main reason this nakshatra can be associated with extreme and outside forces away from our everyday society. Even though we all know these are the realities in life we all must face, Bharani Nakshatra makes us feel at home with these energies. Sexual encounter and death is something we must all go through one way or the other. And by denying these realities, we only create greater bondages. This nakshatra is represented by the female and the number 2, which shows the duality represented in this nakshatra. The female forces come from the vagina and the rulership of Venus. The Ayurvedic connection would be related to the knees as well as the ankles. Again, these body parts are known for controlling our movement. The Vata or air quality in Ayurveda has to do with movement, again aligning wonderfully with this nakshatra. The head and the feet belong to this nakshatra also. Probably this was taken from the childbirthing process of either the feet or the head coming out first. Now the 4 padas or 4 parts of the Bharani Nakshatra are also as follows. The first pada is from 13 degrees 20 minutes to 16 degrees 40 minutes of Aries and falls in the Leo Navamsha, and it is ruled by the sun. This pada encompasses the force of willpower seen by the powerful energies of Leo. The pride and ego stand out in this pada. The second pada is from 16 degrees and 40 minutes to 20 degrees of Aries. And this falls in the Virgo Navamsha, ruled by Mercury. The life here is more methodical, and a huge sensation of serving and caring the Lord is present here. The third pada is from 20 degrees 40 minutes to 23 degrees and 20 minutes of Aries, falling in the Libra Navamsha. Here all the qualities of Venus shine bright. The sexual union and the energy and the pursuit for beauty and luxury come forth in this pada. The fourth and final pada falls in the Scorpio Navamsha. The instinctual nature is seen here by the energies of Mars and the 8th house rulership of Scorpio. This is the more aggressive pada. If the second lord and the 6th lord, the 10th lord, as well as the Amatya Karaka is known as the planet with the second highest degree in the Gemini system. If any of these planets fall in this nakshatra, the profession can be seen from this nakshatra directly. The kindergarten teacher, gynecologists, doctors that deliver babies and working with young children, coffin makers and sellers, people who work with the funerals, the mortuary, the slaughterhouses, butchers, sex workers, and any profession using sex, nightclub owners, musicians, judges, professions that require secrecy, detectives, spies, and investigators. These are some of the places and professions which Bharani Nakshatra thrives in. The guna is an element connected to the quality and the energy of things. This nakshatra belongs to the Rajasic energy, which is all about activity and being busy in this world. Venus is the most Rajasic planet. Thus, this nakshatra is what makes life worth living, as we are all busy in our actions to gather up enough material to live a happy and comfortable life. This nakshatra is also represented by the earth element, which shows the physical manifestation of this nakshatra, which is also quite practical. The Gana type of this nakshatra is connected to the human type. Venus in the Kalpurush rules the 2nd and the 7th houses respectively. These are the Taurus and the Libra zodiacs. And the intense energy of Venus is represented in these two areas of human affairs. One's resources seen from the 2nd house and human relations seen from the 7th. Venus, obviously in the Kalpurush, becomes a maraka, connecting the 2nd and the 7th house simultaneously. This nakshatra is also connected to elephants and the energy they represent, which is all about big ideas and royalty, as royals were known to own many of these animals. Lord Indra, the king, is also seen riding an elephant. Mars and Sun are also associated to the zodiac sign of Aries, which this nakshatra lies. The goddesses of fertility are also represented by this nakshatra. This comes directly from the female reproductive organ as one of the main symbols of this powerful nakshatra. Kali is one of those female deities closely connected to this nakshatra, who is a fierce form of the feminine energy, which Barani represents. As mentioned earlier, that Yama, the Lord of Death, is also the main deity ruling over this nakshatra. So we can see the intensity that this nakshatra is capable of from these two harsh deities. On the higher spiritual planes and understanding, these deities want us to follow our dharma, which is simply our life purpose, and they can destroy anything which will come in the way of one's life mission or dharma. They also teach us the seriousness of following one's dharma for our soul's journey, as by living our true purpose, we then find the true meaning of this incarnation. And Yama will judge accordingly and decide the fate of the soul and this journey of death and rebirth. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, like and share. I'd be most grateful.